Oh man! All right, are we ready now? Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back. You sucker.
I'm kidding, we are live. I had a little double play over here. So I sat here and said, I'm just going to go live and see how long it takes before he's like, just kind of just chilling, looking, just waiting. And then
Yeah.
say, are we live? So yes. But then I'm going to take you out and watch it. I was trying to think of a good way to open up the show, and I was like, I don't have it.
Don't have it.
Little prankster joke.
Yeah. You don't have it, but you're going to get it.
What's that?
You don't have it, but you're going to get it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Anyway, hi everybody. Welcome back to Bar Run Forge. It's Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you are here with us. I want to begin the show by saying a big old shut up, not a shout out, a shut up to Roy and Kyle for bragging about their weather. Poor Roy. He's having to deal with low 70s temperatures up there, and I mean for him that's probably feeling like 95 to 100, right? Yeah. Gorgeous weather up here in Maine today. Phrases I hate to hear while in Ohio. So to answer your question out and about with Dave and Daisy, welcome in, by the way. Oh, okay. I did not know that. Wild stuff. What? Oh. Well, hi, Dave, I'm guessing. We are we are not forging tonight. Shut up, Roy. You're not so sweaty. Well, that's true. You are so sweaty. We are not forging tonight because we have heat indexes. They're in the 110s right now.
Currently, according to the app, it feels like 98.
Yeah, so we're down. It's now 6:30 here, so it's cooled down a bit. I was out flipping hay out in the field by hand earlier because the machine would have torn the hay up, and it was hot. This is shirt number 3 for me today, and it's sweaty. It's actually, I was telling Eli before we started, it's really odd because it's normally not hot in here. Like the shop itself stays pretty cool during the day when we keep everything closed up. It stays pretty cool. Bobby says 65 here. Jeez. And I know other people are dealing with hot kind of temperatures and things like that, but we're just not going to forge in it after all I've had to go out and do today, and Eli getting home from work. Just not in the cards today, guys. So we're not going to forge, but we are going to sit and chat. I've got some Gatorade and some Propel here, so I'm going to hydrate.
Usually, if our kind of rule is usually if it's above 90, it's probably a forge. Can you say?
Yeah, pretty much.
We've done it a couple times. It's just you can, but it's not safe. You're gonna have to drink a lot of fluid. You're standing next to 1,000-degree temperatures. There's no relief really. So we pretty much call it at 90.
Chris Dixon says, "Wow, we were 35 this morning, 5 a.m."
Wow.
Yeah, 35 Celsius, which is still warm.
Yeah. We had 35-mile-an-hour wind gusts this morning.
Yeah, it was. We had a rough storm at what 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Came in, exploded, left.
Yeah. And in the process, that's why I was out in the hayfield flipping hay over, because went out and baled the hay last night, anticipating the storm early this morning. And as I was baling hay last night, I ran out of string to tie the bales. Yeah, because I'm an idiot. So I thought, okay, I'll go get string. And I went over to one of the other balers and got string, but that was for round bale. It's a little tiny string, and the baler wouldn't run that string. So I went through the process of threading the needles and all that kind of fun stuff. And yeah, so there was a little bit of hay left out in the field, which that kind of sucks. But 35 Fahrenheit? No. Really? That's crazy. Get Eli on mic. I'm just going to jaw tonight. You clear now? Are you clearing that up? Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah, and if it'd be one thing if we kind of took it easy today and nothing was going on, but okay, we'll kind of keep cool and whatever, and we'll come in here and do that. Yeah. But that wasn't today. Today was definitely not one of just hanging out and being cool kind of days. So, but I did go into town and picked up some the right kind of baler twine. Got that ready and re-threaded the baler. So that should be ready to go when the hay that's out there finally dries back out. Hopefully it's not completely ruined. And then they're calling for these good old pop-up thunderstorms. Scattered thunderstorms. Yeah. So hopefully we don't go through all that. Yeah, sorry about that, Bill. He says his comments aren't going through, but we were enjoying our vacation. It's great to have you back. All right, so let's say hi to as many people as we possibly can think of and remember there. Mr. Jeff Woodring, Daniel Baca at eBaca Maker, Chris Dixon at The Dixon Way, Out and About with Dave and Daisy, also formerly known as Sam I Am, Roy at Christ-Centered Ironworks, Bobby at Robert Bonus, Bill Corey at BC 65925, Kyle Jones, Brian at the Vineyard Farmhouse, Shane Lalonde, Ufbert Forge, and David Means, 1958 David Means. Good to have you guys in here. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. If I did, speak up.
Check.
So that we can say hello to you. Because we want to say hello.
Check.
Great to have everybody in here.
Okay.
David says he's in welding school, now learning stick. Excellent. Mr. Mule Kick Forge himself. Hey, Ed. BRF, Barf, and everyone. So, yeah, it's little on the hot side, and I'm, still trying to. Oh, Dana Maggiore, DE Mag. We've got to say hi to Dana. And Jeff Killian.
Okay, microphone issue should be solved now.
Okay.
Sorry about that, everybody.
And Pumpkin Patch. Eric is here. Pumpkin Patch Forge and Ironworks. Did I miss you? I always miss you, Bill Corey. It's a constant. But as the old saying goes, I can't miss you if you're not going.
Ooh.
Yep. I can never miss you if you're not going.
Yeah.
So Eli last week, while I was gone at a previous engagement,
Yep.
Jumped in here and started working on a ball peen hammer.
I did. Is it still
for
up there?
himself. Yes, right up here.
Right now it's just a circle with a hole through it.
That's right. A lump of steel with a hole in it.
Yes, sir.
So it should make a nice little ball peen hammer.
And that'll be a giveaway for when we hit 5,000 subscribers.
I did not know that.
Now you do.
And knowing is half the battle.
There you go. And I believe we're currently at 4.11.
4.11
Yep, we
something.
have 4
yes.
and
4,100 and something.
4.11 subscribers.
Okay. That's probably the ones that are left behind are probably thinking, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
4.1 sounds about right. Bobby says, but it's a nice hole. Anyway, great to have you guys in here.
It's a little crooked.
Yeah, it's crooked. I can see it from here. So we're talking about, well, what are we going to talk about tonight in our sit and chat? We'll kind of leave that up to you guys a little bit, but
Lobster.
no, he's from Maine. That's
Said lobster.
Lobster.
Oh.
Could we sing Happy Birthday? Is she listening, Kyle?
Sounds
Is she
like
watching and listening?
My voice is really
37. I'm not
my
old.
voice is really scratchy right now.
That's all right. I'll get you taken care of.
I'll sing back here.
Ever get that sconce hung? No. Dude, I'm telling you what, Eric, and we will. It is sitting in the dining room. It is well protected. Things are starting to calm down just a little bit around here.
Yeah.
So, there you go. I was beginning to wonder if the state fair would ever end. There you go. Yes, don't forget to hit that like button. And Kyle's going to answer whether she's listening or not.
Yeah. While he's doing that,
See if Rebecca is listening.
click buttons like the thumbs up button, the button that's red and says subscribe, and the button that looks like a bell, because that'll notify you when there's stuff like our live stream, which you're at right now, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time most of the time. Do you like that?
Yeah.
And check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, and Rumble. And, of course, the infamous, the one and only, the greatest Bar Run Forge website ever to be made, www.barrunforge.com. That's BARRUNFORGE.com.
I would agree with you that it probably is the best Bar Run Forge website ever created. And Mr. Frank is in here, too. What are we forging? Pete Fields, you hush.
Sweat. I'm forging sweat.
Kyle says Rebecca is
Yep.
watching and listening, so let's all join together from where you are and listening along.
I want you, no matter where you're at, sing out loud.
Sing out loud. Sing out loud. So let's sing to Rebecca Jones and wish her a happy birthday.
Yeah.
Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rebecca. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rebecca.
Harmonizing.
Love you, hon.
Bring us some lobster.
Lobster. We want some lobster.
Or some chowder.
Hey, I saw, speaking of not lobster, but kind of in that same realm, I don't know if I sent this to you or not.
Probably. Is it food related?
Yes, it was the crab boil bucket.
Ah, yes.
Literally a 5-gallon bucket with a heater in it.
Yeah.
An element in the bottom of this thing.
You sent that to me.
Huh?
I don't think you sent it to me.
I'm sure I did. Anyway,
I don't think
a
so.
plastic 5-gallon bucket
Yeah.
with a special lid on it for crab boils and crawfish boils and stuff like that. And that's all you need.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
next year, for the gathering, we have located our dealer, and we are planning, like 99% positive, we're going to do big crawfish, shrimp, and other Cajun food items in a big boil. So doing a big crawfish boil for the gathering. So here's your little promo for, 7 months out?
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're from a certain part of the states, that's a bowl.
Ball.
A bowl.
BAWL.
Yes. Not a boil.
Right. But yes, that's our plan for one of the, probably Saturday night. That's usually the big dinner night. So.
Yep. Of course, very likely we'll do smoked meatloaf has become
Smoked meatloaf.
a staple,
Yep.
so to speak, at the gathering.
That's true.
So why not talk about that for just a little bit? Be loving me some crawdad.
Oh.
Yeah, peel them, pluck them, and suck them. You got it.
Talking about food?
Talk about food or talk about the gathering.
Yeah.
I mean, it is August.
Right.
You know,
We're
it's time to make those plans.
Yep.
For those of you who are not going to have that opportunity to come for Quad State, and you will have the opportunity to come in April for the gathering here at Bar Run Forge, which next year will be bigger, better, faster, stronger.
Something like that.
Yeah. We already have some really cool plans.
Yep.
The shop will have changes. There'll be lots of stuff going on, and be relying on some of our regulars to assist and work on whatever is going to be needed for that. So I'm excited. I mean, I'm already thinking about it, thinking it's going to be really cool. We're going to have a great time, as always. And in the process, that we talk about shop changes, things like that. For those of you guys who have not come to the gathering here at Bar Run Forge, MLWJ will be at Quad State. Fantastic. We will probably only be there Saturday.
Yeah.
Memaw is having shoulder replacement surgery on Friday.
Yep.
Eli will be working on that day. So I am tending to Memaw, and then she has a babysitter on Saturday. So I will be able to come to Quad State on Saturday, but not Friday. We'll hate that, but it kind of is what it is. There's Kenny at Metal Man Productions. Good to have you in here, Kenny.
If I am looking at it rightly, usually gathering is the last weekend in April. So the 25th is that Thursday. Feel free to come on that Thursday. So the 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th.
However, that prior Thursday is your birthday.
That is true. That is true.
So that's a possibility.
Yep. When we get closer to that time, but to give you a rough idea, last or second to last weekend in April is usually the time frame for the gathering. So when it gets closer and we can kind of get planning and everything set up, then we'll throw that out there with a definitive time. But
and then we have the website where we can go in and register in. I know there were some people who's like, oh man, I couldn't get on there and register, so I didn't come. And I'm like,
that's okay.
You doofus, call me. The whole idea was to give us an idea of who is coming.
No, it's not a. If
you're not registered, you can't come. It's not an exclusive.
You don't have to have your papers walking in the door.
You don't have to have the button or the badge or anything like that.
More so just informative and kind of give us a rough idea what we need to plan for food and lodging and things like that.
Jeff Woodring's birthday as well.
Yes.
I'd forgotten that.
Yeah. Best birthdays in April, man.
Yes, they are. Absolutely. Gathering, we will start talking about that a little bit more in earnest later on. But you guys get a plan. The gathering, there shall be only one. Go ahead and make your plans to be here.
Yep.
And talk to some of the people who have not come to the gathering, or who have come to the gathering. If you have not before, talk to some of them. Say, hey, is this something I can do? I mean, Drew Wilson's here, Kyle Jones, Jeff Killian, Bill Corey. Who else on our list? Brian, Pete,
Roy.
Roy's been here. Pete Fields, Eric.
Yep.
Or Keith.
Possum Sausage.
Possum Sausage. Yeah. So we've had a plethora of those people here. Chris Schaefer and forgot the gentleman that was with him this year. He's supposed to come back this way in September. There's Will at Athol. Oh, I would love to have Will here. Jeff Woodring, all these guys. Dana.
Bring it on.
So, hope you guys are having a good time at the fair there, Will. I saw your demo spot. It looked really cool.
Will was good.
Kyle, Eli. Yeah, really cool. And Bobby Lonis.
Yeah.
Robert. Sorry. How could I forget Bob? Of all the folks that are in here. So anyway.
It is cool, though, because we've had enough people now that it's like there's a lot of people that have come through to the point where we don't have all of them memorized at one point.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody when we forget, but it's just we've had a bunch of people to it, so it's really cool.
Bill, when is that BAM 2024? Because I don't want to exclude anybody if they're going to go to that.
Yeah.
Then we can basically kind of make sure that everything. Kenny, you can make it this year, buddy. I believe in you.
Yep.
Of course you can come, Corey. Of course you can come. If you want to travel all the way out here, then you have at it. Well, we certainly hope you can come, Dana. That would be fantastic. You can hitch your ride with Bobby.
Yeah.
So, if you guys haven't come before, check with some of the folks that have been here, and I think you'll find out it is a semi-structured. We have a project or a plan for the weekend, but at the same time, it is called the gathering for a reason, not the smithing.
Right.
We enjoy each other's company. There's the fires are almost always lit, and somebody is almost always forging.
Right.
But it isn't so strict and structured.
Right.
That you feel like.
Well, a good example. Brian from Vineyard Farmhouse came here this year. Didn't do blacksmithing, but enjoyed the time. Kind of vlogged his whole trip and met everybody, and kind of made a whole little mini series out of it, like his trip here and the different people he got to meet, the different smiths and our setup and things like that. So, yeah, it's not just for blacksmiths. It's a time to come hang out. Obviously, predominantly, most of us are blacksmiths, but like when guys have the wives and everything like that, they've all hung out and gone together. And
there's Adam.
Plenty of stuff to do around, shops and local. The Amish are around close by to go to the bakeries and their little shops and things like that.
I mean, even if you wanted to bring some of the kids or whomever and go to Kings Island I mean, there's plenty to do.
Yeah.
And please bring the kids, bring significant others, come and have a great time. It is one of those where I wanted to make it, and Eli agreed that we wanted to make it whatever you need it to be for the weekend.
Yeah.
Make that happen.
Yep.
If it is come, rest and relax and just hang out, never swing a hammer, that's fine.
Pull up a lawn chair and watch.
Yeah.
There are plenty of good smiths and a good time to be had to just sit and watch.
Yeah. So, can you forge a sword? Yes, you can. No. You, yes. Thomas the Goody Moot.
The goodiest of moots.
There are some moots, but he is the goodiest of moots. If there were. Actually, we know some moots that are pretty good.
Yeah.
But he's a goody moot.
He's a goody moot.
I got to forge with that goody moot not too long ago up there at Roy's. Roy did his womanly duties and made us lunch. So did good there. And while Thomas and I slaved away on a project that probably got thrown away.
Yeah, tongs was a project this past year. So, again, if you are of the blacksmithing type and want to come hang out, we have a project set up. One year we did hammers. Everybody got a little mini crosspeen or however you wanted to, little hammer. And we did a little kind of exchange. So everybody kind of got to have one somebody else made. So cool little deal there. And then last year we had two people show different types of tong making styles, and everybody had the opportunity to make their
of
tongs.
Which both people are in here in the chat right now.
That's true. That is true. So
make me a sandwich. You're a sandwich. Never did finish your tongs or your hammer? Tongs, I'm guessing.
I think tongs.
I think there was a few of those tong blanks, so to speak, that I did not get their finish. But at least everybody's got the concept and the idea.
Yep.
The Salem goodies. So anyway, that's the plan for the gathering next year. We'll be talking more about that. If you guys have a project that you think, hey, this would be a really cool project, or a demonstrator that you would like to see who would be willing to come and hang out with us, by all means, let us know. We'd love to entertain that. Again, one of the other things that we've dedicated ourselves to is this is a free event, and it kind of has become an event. So we definitely wanted to make it where money here wasn't the issue. I mean, getting here and travel,
that's on you. But
it's not really much I can do about that.
Yeah.
But if that's an issue, let us know. Who knows how God might bless in specific ways to get you here.
Well, like last year worked out. You picked up Drew Wilson from the airport.
From the airport, yeah.
Bobby headed on his way back, took him back to the airport. So,
yep.
Don't let travel arrangements. We've had like Ben and Matt are on the same way, coming from Carolina and Georgia and that area. And,
which I think I'm headed down to see Matt maybe next week.
Yeah. So definitely we'll figure out a way. If you want to come here, we'll figure out something. But
so anyway, enjoy that time. Come and enjoy that time with us, and it's become a weekend that I look forward to now every year. Tremendously. I really do. Not going to make it this year. Well, phooey. Maybe I'll make it down there one of these years. Right? So the thing I wanted to kind of talk about, there's a few things I wanted to talk about tonight on our sit and chat.
Sit and chat.
Is a couple things that we're talking about doing here in the shop, but also tooling up, so to speak. And we've been working at the Ohio Valley Antique Machinery Show. You guys hopefully saw that live and saw some of our time from there. And one of the things that we kind of looked at in that shop was there's no tools. I mean, there was some half kind of put together tongs and a few things here and there.
Yeah.
There wasn't a punch. There wasn't a chisel. There's nothing. And I was like, guys, if we're going to use this shop, other than us dragging everything we own basically there and a few of their things, it'd be nice just to have tools here to work with. And, there's some specialty things we can bring. So I said, why don't we tool up and start with things like punches and chisels, maybe some tongs. The guys started in on making about an 8-pound, we're guessing, 8-pound sledge.
Yeah.
So we started we did part of that project, got that started. I didn't really have enough time to finish it.
Yeah.
We did a hammer eye drift.
For the sledgehammer.
For that, yeah. So, so far right now, I did a slitting chisel or a hot chisel out of some really nice coil spring that one of the other guys provided.
Yeah.
And so we're going to try to make most of our punches, chisels, drifts, things like that from that. We had somebody find a couple jackhammer bits, so we made the drift for the hammer eye drift out of that. And so kind of focused on that, tooling up for that particular shop. I'm going to read a couple comments and get back to it.
Yes, Thomas, to answer your question.
Yes. Let's see, that's Black Dragon Forge, South Africa, tool up or die. There you go. A genuine Bill Corey collapsible palm toolbox. Modern Virginia, don't treadle on. Treadle on me. Nice. So we started making some tools there, and I got to thinking, we've got some things changed here in the shop. We do have the power hammer, which is going to get some changes done to it in the next few months. Now that we're kind of getting back into the shop again, we do now have. Speaking of treadle, we do now have the treadle hammer,
beast of a treadle hammer.
Which should also, because it has interchangeable, it has a hardy hole in the bottom. So bottom die at least. I'm going to try to figure out a way to put in top dies. But anyway, to change out tooling for that. To have some power hammer tooling and treadle hammer tooling, one of the small punches and chisels and things like that, so you can work with handled items at the treadle hammer, not the great big ones holding all the tongs and things like that. So I've been thinking a lot about those kinds of things. We've got the steel, a lot of the steel can do those things, and Butler Family Farm, great to have you in here, but. I wanted to talk about tooling up. One of the things I've really enjoyed recently with John Switzer at Black Bear Forge is this small shop.
Yeah.
The more primitive shop.
Yes, Eli.
And I think that was such a cool. It was almost like, okay, everybody kind of envious of some of the things in John's shop because 37 years of collecting and using all of these tools and making tools and things like that. And then he goes out into the other shop and it's kind of like, well, let's start somewhat from scratch, not completely, but how do we make a simple, well-tooled, basic smithy? And man, he's just done such a great job and showing off things like from Ken's Custom Irons, the tool rack from there, which you can also get at blacksmithpdfs.com if you so wanted to go to Christ-Centered Ironworks and check that out.
Sure.
If that's something you wanted to do. They do also have some tool racks and tong racks, things like that. But he was showing off things like that. So if you want to go buy them, you can buy them. And right now you can buy those tools and racks and things like that at a fairly reasonable price. if you want to look around and find things that you can use
Yeah.
for those kinds of things. I know Eli's got a couple thoughts on some racking. We're getting to the point in the shop where the tong rack is a little overloaded. The punch and chisel rack is getting to that point. The hammer and tool rack is getting a little overloaded as well. So to be able to have designated areas for those things is going to be really, really important. So we can start the meeting. He's here. All right. Good to hear, buddy. Good to see you, man. And good work, by the way, on the door knocker. That was pretty nice.
Yeah.
You too, Thomas. I like the copper inlay, but I got a sneak preview of it already. Got to brag on him on that before everybody else did.
Before you jump into that, Corey, we'll definitely keep your son in our prayers. Had a gallbladder surgery in 4 to 6 weeks. Got some issues going on.
Oh,
Gallstones and pancreas problems.
Definitely keep that in prayer.
Good thing you don't know about any pancreas problems.
No, no.
Not anymore, at least.
Not anymore, as far as we know. I'm waiting on a final CT scan to say all clear. Many of the liver tests came back good, so we should be able to. You can go rack crazy with that plasma table. Yep, you just got to get the plasma table fully functioning.
Yeah,
that's one of the things. I actually had to send into Prime Weld. Our tip for some reason blew out, and I'm not sure why it's not functioning correctly. But Prime Weld is. I'll just tell you guys this right off the bat. Prime Weld's customer care, pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good. So,
Coach.
Yeah, Coach Tenets, evening all, hi Possum. So good to have you guys in here as well. I have said hi to everybody so far. Hello, say hi to everybody. So one of the things I was talking about was tooling up in the shop, and storage and racks and things like that. I know one of my first real experiences with someone else's blacksmith shop was Hans's out in Pennsylvania, and a very small space, but he utilized it very, very well. It's probably actually as small or smaller than the thing John Switzer's got going on. But one of the first things he said was vertical storage, and he had like those magnetic strips. Mm-hmm. He had those mounted on the wall all over the place for punches and chisels and things like that. So vertical storage is something we don't utilize a whole lot in here, but that's kind of what we're working toward, and not have the walls cluttered, but actually utilize that square footage. We know we're blessed with a pretty decent amount of space in here, which is going to change over the next year as far as what all's in here. So we're blessed in that way, but I don't want to take advantage of that where everything's just kind of piled in on the floor and used that way. So, part of that is tooling and tool storage. A lot of the innovators right now that, like we were talking about with Ken's Custom Irons and Custom Iron and Roy and Thomas, the work they're doing with that kind of thing. And if we can get our plasma table making up things like that. One of the first things we did on the table where we found a angle grinder holder file.
Yeah.
And thought, well, that would be a good test for it.
Yeah.
And we cut up a few of those, and we hang our angle grinders on those on the wall, and that in itself has been a huge help.
Yep.
We changed up how we laid it out on the wall. We did the background and all kind of fun stuff. So changing and working with the space that you have is really important, and then utilizing the tools. Really, not just out there making tools, but utilizing the tools that you have. Keith says vertical storage is something I'm trying to get a hold of in my 10 by 16. Yeah, vertical storage for sure. We're looking forward to the changes as well, for sure, Bobby. And welcome into Good Eats Homestead. Great to have you guys in here. Good. Hi, Troy and Eli and chat. Great to have you guys in here. Tooling, for specific things. Before it was like, okay, I made some punches and chisels, and we had some other punches and chisels made, and fullers and things like that. And then I go to do something on the power hammer or to do something now on the treadle hammer, and I think,
Don't have
well,
that
those
tool.
tools don't work
Yeah.
there. And even if they did, we are set up in such a way that I can have a rack of tools over at the treadle hammer for the treadle hammer.
Right.
I can have the kiss blocks for the things like that for the power hammer. Those are things that we've been talking about, doing. And first time I used the kiss block on the power hammer, and I realized I got exact dimension on the thing that it's like,
Yeah.
this is game changer, man. And tooling is such an important thing. So, Bill Corey says, speaking of things in the shop, what is that scare? I should read those things before I read them out loud, right? The beast in the corner. So, Mr. Pete Fields is just about to get his beast up and running.
Yeah.
So he can start forging. I saw tonight he poured his ribbon burner, poured the refractory in the ribbon burner.
Nice.
So that'll be ready to go soon. We got over there and kind of looked at how to set up his forging area. And he's got some really cool old industrial drill presses and bandsaws and things like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun watching his shop come together as well. Going to take care of the lobster cooker. Lobster. We don't talk about such things. It's sure a sign of the end of times of what that is. No, it's not. Love you guys. I've been staring at the 28-ton press I made for over a year now because my service won't run it. That stinks. That stinks. We've had this press here of ours waiting for us to really just kind of tackle it and do it upright and to make sure that's where we want it and that's what we want to do with it and things like that. And then we've purchased some tools, which Pete was asking me the other day about that belt disc sander from Harbor Freight, and he said, "What do you think of that?" And I just said one word: don't.
Don't.
Just don't.
If you're doing anything other than light, soft woods,
just don't.
Don't use it.
Yeah, and I don't have. Michelle got after me because then why did you buy it? I said because, and I'll be honest with you, the majority of the stuff that we have bought from Harbor Freight, I've been fairly pleased with.
Yeah.
And I have learned something. We got the buffer wire wheel thing, junk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's way underpowered.
Yeah.
And so there are certain brands at that store that I just go, you know what?
Buy from.
I'm just not buying that. But I'll tell you, like with the new Doyle anvil from Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
Eddie Smith and I were working on riveting something at the show. Eddie had a 3.5-pound rounding hammer and was out on the square horn of that 65-pound anvil, not secured down to a stump.
Right.
And on that rivet, wailing on it. And it didn't even make a mar on that anvil. And so if somebody would say, it's like I was trying to talk, I just told him I was trying to talk him into buying one of those Doyle anvils. If you're just getting started, go to Harbor Freight, spend $140, buy the anvil. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Just go get it. $140. And if you don't ever use it again, you've got a thing you can beat on if you're working in your garage or shop or whatever. You got an anvil you can beat on. If you never forge again.
Yeah.
$140.
Yep.
I would tell it, and it's just me. Whatever. But we've used it enough to understand I like it.
Yeah.
I'm fairly pleased with it. And I would see no reason why not to. We're going to take it as our travel anvil.
Yeah.
We're about to make a stand for it and with tooling and everything like that. Absolutely. I know, like Kenny's talking about, he still works his Grizzly 2x72. People dog on the Grizzly. If it works for you, use it. And I'll just say this. If you've got Central Machinery stuff from Harbor Freight and it works for you, let it rip.
Good on you.
Chicago Electric,
Yep.
go for it. If it works for you, work it. Just not for me. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, Bobby just said the vertical bandsaw. We keep a good saw blade on that saw right over there.
It's our shop saw.
And that's, we've cut hammer billets.
Yeah.
With that saw.
Axles.
Yes, we've cut axles with that saw. And you treat it right, keep a good blade on it, you'll be fine. Yes, but do you like the anvil? Yes, I do. And I like this one too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, look, you don't. I'm fairly. You don't have to do this.
Yeah.
You don't have to do this. This is a beautiful thing. This is something, in my case, where I was like, okay, this is a lifetime, one time. There'll never be another main shop anvil unless something catastrophic happens. So this is it. This is the one. And Hazel's over there, and Hazel's going to serve a purpose for a long time to come. Hazel very likely will never ever leave here. So, who knows about the other anvils? There may be anvils that stick around here for a long, long time too. But yeah. Made by Cormulus. Cormulus says that the Harbor Freight bandsaw I've got is falling apart after about 3 years of hard use. I mean, for what you pay for that?
Yeah.
3 years of hard use?
That's good.
There you go. Because it is not the high end. That speaks well to it. Yes, I got the double horn. It's here, buddy. It is here. Built his house 45 years ago, saved all the bent nails, going to straighten them. If only had an anvil to do so. There you go. Did you already answer the question about I had making some tools? Oh, no, but if you anything that you feel led to send our way, Thomas, have at it, buddy. We always appreciate that. We've been so blessed over the 4 years.
Yeah.
That
when we first got started, it was amazing to me. Like, not really knowing the community and not knowing it, like tongs, hammer, tooling, things like that. We just had people sending it without even saying anything or asking if we needed it.
Right.
It was so cool just to be a part of that, and that's something we've talked about is once we're back into forging and getting stuff back rolling for the year, is do the same for people. This community is so well established in being generous.
I'm reading some of the comments here.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Cummins would basically be the forerunner to Harbor Freight. And some of that stuff was good and some of it was junk. That's just all there is to it. Kyle might give Hazel some walking legs. No, he will not. No, he will not. Yeah, and as Kenny said, buy the cheap thing if you have to. Modify it. The table on that Harbor Freight bandsaw is junk.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So, when we get a chance, we're going to use the plasma table, make a good one.
Got one out.
And that'll be the last one that'll probably ever be on that saw, for sure. He says, my first anvil was, wait a minute, you see that fancy portaband stand that Horrible Fright has now for $99? I did not. I did not see that stand. Which is crazy because I was at Harbor Freight today.
Yeah, I saw that, how they have basically the action, the lever for the portaband to now become a little chop.
Really?
Yeah, I marked it on my list the other day just
to
check out. I want to know if their portaband's worth it. It's the Bauer series.
Oh, here's what Keith said. First anvil was a cast steel West anvil, 145 pounds. Be my first. It had many dings. Yes, I understand. Dressed the face, and one of the first times using it, I accidentally sheared through a piece with an H13 chisel. Oh man. Wow. Yeah, and there's the other thing, Kenny. Again, hit it on the head. There are things that when I buy from Harbor Freight, I know that they are consumable. If fast usable, and in many cases the best choice for the thing I'm about to do.
Yeah.
There are other occasions where I take a risk buying something thinking it's a good price. Maybe this thing will work long term. As Eli has stated, excuse me, I am not easy on tools.
It's fair.
I push them to their limit. Um, so I want them to work.
Yeah.
So sometimes, no, they don't. They don't live up to that. But other times, we'll go back to the Porter Cable.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Porter Cable, but we should be because there's a 12-year-old angle grinder up there, and that thing has been through industrial use and is still kicking.
And it's not heavy.
No.
It's not the heavy amperage.
No. But from it was being the only angle grinder in our shop to being pretty much the only angle grinder we had when we worked at KCU for 3 years, and then the only angle grinder on the farm, and up until we started tooling up, the only angle grinder we had in the blacksmith shop, and that was the number one angle grinder we used for 10 years. Fine. No problems.
Yeah.
$40, you can still get it on Amazon, and I would recommend it all day, every day.
Yep. In fact, when we were talking about the Antique Machinery Show shop, we thought the best thing to have here is 2 angle grinders. At least. And one of those being dedicated to cutoffs, and one of them dedicated to things like wire wheel and flapper discs, things like that. And first thing we said was, online, Porter Cable, $39. Now, is it possibility that you buy that Porter Cable, use it for 2 weeks, and it's trash? Yeah.
It's also the case for a DeWalt.
Yes, absolutely the case for the DeWalt, because the same amperage, we bought a twin pack of those things. I used one of them for like 20 minutes, and the gears completely burned out of it, ripped out of it right away. Now, the other one is still over here with the flapper disc on it.
Yep.
So you just, again, is Northern Tool the same quality as Harbor Freight? We have a Northern Tool in Fredericksburg. I would say similar.
Yeah.
Again, I've had some Northern Tool stuff that's better, and some Northern Tool stuff that's a lot worse. We'll say comparable. Bill says Northern Tool to Harbor Freight is Target to Walmart. Similar, just different. You're probably right, Bobby. If there's anybody that's probably the foremost experts on Harbor Freight tools, it's probably blacksmiths.
I would agree.
Because they're buying cheap.
Yeah.
They're buying cheap. If they can afford to buy better, they will, but they generally can't. And Keith says, I'm a Milwaukee guy. Yeah. Sometimes buy DeWalt for my cheap throwaway tools. It's a good start. I love the Milwaukee stuff, but there's certain Milwaukee stuff that I don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, for years, the Milwaukee Sawzall was the standard. There wasn't any better Sawzall than Milwaukee. Impact drivers, they were way ahead of the game on the impact drivers. They did a great job with those. And then there are other stuff that it's not quite as good. I've bought Milwaukee drill bits or driver bits, impact driver bits, junk.
Yeah.
And then I've bought some other stuff from them, phenomenal. And you just kind of have to, kind of roll with it. What's that?
Trial and error.
It is, and it's kind of a stinky thing, but.
Yeah.
All right, Dana. God bless you, buddy. Let me know. Keep me up to date, man. Love to hear progress. Say, for instance, this past week, we have a Makita set that's got angle grinder, impact, and drill.
Yeah.
We have those, and fairly pleased with it.
Yeah.
I've got almost all DeWalt stuff, and part of the reason for that is I've been fairly pleased with its performance as far as the cordless drills and drivers go. and it was kind of in my price range. But once you get those batteries and all those things that go with it, you kind of want to go with that.
Right.
We bought the Makita set because it was kind of a deal, right? Kind of one with the other.
The drill and the driver, you got a angle grinder for free, so that was kind of hard to pass up.
Yeah, and so, you know, we don't have a whole lot of other Makita stuff, but we do have those things. And I'm fairly pleased with it. The charger is really nice. It's got a cooling fan with it, so it charges up pretty quick. And the other day, I was in at Harbor Freight, and we've got some Hercules and we've got some Bauer, and some of the other stuff. And they had a deal where if you bought the battery, you bought a tool for $29. And that included the $29 batteries. So, or they had a deal where you could get the impact driver with a battery and charger, because everybody does this bare tool thing where you don't buy a battery or a charger.
Yeah.
So it was a certain price. I think it was like $54 for the impact driver and the charger and a battery. And then you could buy a battery for $29. So, yeah, it starts to add up if you start doing that. But if you do that at any other tool stores, you can do that as well. Well, what happened was I bought the impact driver with the battery and the charger, and then I bought the spare battery for $29. And if you bought that spare battery, you got a drill for $29. So I got the cordless hammer drill for $29. So at least have one set of the Bauer impact driver and drill. And to me, that's kind of one of the telltales. If your driver and your drill perform fairly well, it's a pretty good indicator of how the rest of this stuff will go. So it's the first time I've really we have never bought any cordless Bauer stuff. So
yeah,
at the price. And my intent is, I looked at the specs. I have a 110 outlet in my truck, and there are many times where I'm out and about doing stuff, and I need a drill or a driver, an impact driver, things like that. So I thought, okay, I can leave that set up in my truck. It's not the $400, package unit that somebody's looking at. Hey, look at there.
Right.
So it's worth a shot. It is what it is. We'll see how it works. I've already used it building some pantry shelves for canning and stuff like that down in Memo's basement. So I'm pretty pleased with it at this point. But it's the same thing. I bought. I thought, well, I'll try Spider bits. I've had the Spider Sawzall blades. Been pretty pleased with those. A couple other things like hole saws. Okay, I'll buy the similar priced set of driver bits. Junk. In Phillips head, I don't know how they are with Torx or anything like that, but they're Phillips head. No grip whatsoever. Number 2 into a drywall screw, just constantly grinding and popping out of there, and the head wearing off on it. I was just like, no, I'm not a fan. So I'll go back to the comments here. Bill Corey. Because blacksmiths have always been about using the best tools and having an up-to-date shop. Direct quote from 1896. Yes, absolutely. The battery expense is a large part of the tool purchase these days, and there's a reason for that. Lithium-ion batteries.
Bless you.
Not a whole lot of lithium in the United States. It's kind of hard to make lithium-ion batteries without lithium.
Yeah.
So, overseas goods have gone up, which means our goods like that go up. It's just kind of how it works. You caught us, Bill. He says worked at a shop where everyone had Milwaukee tools and shared batteries. Just put your dead one on the charger and take a fresh one. Yeah. That's the only reason I got. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. It is convenience. Again, I'm not telling you DeWalt is the best. I'm telling you I got a certain amount of DeWalt. We just kept buying the DeWalt stuff because we had the batteries, we had the chargers, all that kind of stuff. I think Bobby was talking about Rigid because they have a good warranty on them. Ryobi. There's a set of Ryobi back here that I was gifted. I haven't used it yet, so I have no idea. I've used some Ryobi stuff before. Again, we're just talking about these power tools and things like that. But again, it's the same kind of concept. When I first went to college, Eli's mom and I had a 92 Corolla, 91 Corolla, Toyota Corolla, and put 200 and some odd thousand miles on it. And never did anything but put one set of brakes on it because I just felt like crap. I got to put brakes on this thing. It was fine. So when we traded that one in, we got a brand new Toyota Corolla. These things are great, you know. Total lemon. That thing was a piece of garbage. Does that mean all Toyota Corollas are garbage?
Right.
No. It just, you know, that's kind of the luck of the draw. You know,
Yeah.
We'll kind of put it in perspective of tooling here in the shop. You know, you could make 25 hammers, and you could go through the process of making 25 hammers. It seems like you do the same thing every time, and one time you'll get that hammer and go to put it in the quench. It comes back out, and you can't get it. You can't get it to harden.
Yeah.
You can't get it to do what it needs to do, and it's frustrating. It doesn't mean that your process was wrong. Doesn't, you know? Just sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
And you gotta roll with it. Do you think batteries didn't last long? Yeah. Peeking in to say hi. Got stuff going on. All right, Kevin. Good to see you. Kevin at Trail Dust 55, and there comes the Blands. Apparently they've been listening, lurking, you lurkers. Our first car was a 98 Toyota Corolla. Best car ever, and I think, well, would have been a 96.
Yeah.
Would have been a 96 Corolla. So a 91 and a 96. Yeah, think about that. The 91 Corolla, and by 96 we had 200 and some thousand miles on that car. We took it everywhere.
Yeah.
Definitely. Corey says, I'm still looking for a 200-pound Acme anvil. Don't look up. Don't look up. If you're looking for it, all right? Not even going to say it. Bought the wife a Milwaukee driver. She was so happy. I haven't hung the curtain rod since. Worth it. Worth it. So we're gonna focus on some tooling. We've got a good source of steel for making those tools. That's kind of an understatement. Would you say that's a fair understatement to say we've got a good source?
Yeah.
And we generally, you know, our punches and chisels, because we've had this particular source, is always been spring steel 5160. Is there a better steel for making that? Sure, I'm sure there is, but it works for us. And you know, we've got a rack of tools over here made out of 5160 that work just fine. Again, back to that same idea. 95 Ford F-250 with 7.3. You can't kill it. So what was the other one that Ford had? It was 6-cylinder 300.
Yeah.
It was a 300 6-cylinder. Another one of those that you literally cannot kill. Well, there you go. Keith said F-150 straight 6 manual 4-speed 4-wheel drive. Same engine. Was in Papaw's F-250.
Yeah.
300 straight. Yep. The 300, man. That was one of those just unkillable engines. Now, there again, were there bad ones? Yeah.
Probably.
Yep. Daniel Bach is like, daggummit.
You'll get there.
He's a little late. Dag nabbit, he said.
There you go.
That's an old person statement. Dag nabbit. 96 turbo diesel. Yep. 73s. 73s were the good ones. So that Acme anvil was made by Trenton. That's interesting. First car in a little Hyundai XL. Yep, I understand that. I understand that completely. 1970 Nova SS. Interesting, because my first car was a 70 Nova. Wasn't an SS. It had SS parts on it. Mine had the Millennial Theft deterrent. Oh, manual 5-speed. Good point. Yeah, Eli's probably won't ever. Hondas are stolen cars quite often, but yours probably won't because it's a 5-speed.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about
6-speed.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about my car getting stolen. It's a 6-speed.
Exit stage right. Snagglepuss. But yeah, working on a lot of stuff. We're trying to get through the season here, getting ready for harvest. I'd say harvest. I shouldn't jinx ourselves. Harvest should not be that difficult this year. I think it's going to be a fairly simple, straightforward harvest. We've just had a lot of issue this year with hay equipment and with weather and things like that, which just happens. It's part of farming. But I try to keep a bright side approach to things, and I think we're well on our way to things kind of coming right along. I'm just trying to read your comments as well.
Yep.
Trying to keep from coughing. But anyway, tooling. We look. I look over here, and I've got we've got the, I guess you would call it A-frame guillotine tool. That was something we got off the internet, and it's been pretty useful to us. I still got to do some things with it that uses it here and over there as well. We got the Uncle Buck's Behemoth guillotine tool, and again, we've got some cast or some stock here to make other dies for it, which I'm looking forward to making. Right now, we have the fullering dies on it, and every time one of those tools ends up in our shop, it's like, wow, how did we do that thing before?
Yeah.
And that is a good point, a good question to also ask amongst these folks. If you got a tool like that, is that a good thing as a whole or a bad thing? So if you got, power hammer, treadle hammer, forge press, all those kinds of things, is that a good thing or a bad thing in regards to your forging? And what I mean by that is it really easy to become, I would say, reliant upon those machines to do your hand hammer work or your hand tooling work, things like that? Or should you be intentional about every once in a while, I'm going to do this by hand? Yeah, I can draw this out on the power hammer, but I want to keep my skills fresh at the anvil, drawing out on the horn or drawing out on the edge or things like that. Is that something that, is it a detriment, or is it only a detriment if you're dependent upon it? I guess that's my question. Kenny, we planted 6 long rows of sweet corn and maybe got 5 plants up. I think it was the seed. I think it was just bad seed. Famous last word. It shouldn't be too difficult. It's true. I keep saying it just to be hopeful. By the way, those of you who have not heard before, check out Bland's Promised Land Ranch tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern. If you want entertained, question mark? Yes, go check them out. It's a good thing. Your shoulder will thank you later. Yes, I understand that for the wear and tear on the body, and definitely if you want to keep smithing for a long time, those can be of great advantage to you. Does that question make sense, Eli? What do you think of that? What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I'm young and stupid.
So you just do young and stupid things?
Yeah.
So is it almost always a disadvantage, or is it almost always an advantage? Or does it depend on the smith?
If you're a production smith.
Yeah.
Versus an artisan smith.
Coach says, I like to go to shows and have not seen too many power hammers at them or hydraulic presses. Hammers travel better. That's a good point. If you are a demonstration type smith, you're going to need to have the hammer skills. We noticed that when we go do demonstrations, machinery show, or we'll go to Metamora next month after that. You got to have your hand hammer skills, and if you don't practice those, you look like a fool when you're out there demoing.
Yeah.
So you still got to keep your hand hammer skills and those types of skills handy. But I think overall, coach has got it right. Hobby or production. If you're doing production work, those tools are of a great benefit, or can be of a great benefit to you. If you're doing repetitive work, and then Kenny says that depends on repeatability. That really does. You guys are kind of hitting it on the head. It does depend upon what the job is, what the intent is. So you guys are hitting it right on the head. Yeah, and Keith makes a good point. If we don't keep that, then we get back. We go do sloppy work. We do sloppy forging because we're dependent upon the power hammer or the forge press or treadle hammer or whatever to do the work for us. And so if you're doing the one-off pieces and things like that, it makes it really hard to really make it good. Motorboat to a sailboat. Motorboat is about destination. Sailboat is about the journey. Wise, sage words from the brain of Bill Corey.
True.
And then more wise, sage words from Adam. A tool is a tool is a tool. Learn at the anvil. That's right. You will always finish and tidy at an anvil. I agree with that. You're going to go to the power hammer. You're going to do those things with the power hammer. You're going to find yourself finishing at the anvil because that's your skill. That's your thing that you're doing at the hammer, at the anvil. I agree. If you have to get the job out, then it's power hammer. But if it's playing in your shop, hand hammer. I think it's a combination. I think it really is. It comes down to the need and your ability and what your desire is. I mean, if you're of the mindset that I have to do this at the anvil, then you're going to need to hone those hammer skills. If you're saying, okay, I'm going to go to the tooling, because for the traditionalists, that's where I get kind of grumpy. The traditionalists go crazy over what's got to be hand hammer. It's got to be back to the old way. And we've talked about this before. If the old guys had some of the stuff that we have at our disposal, they'd use it. They would use it. I mean, if the old timers had an arc welder, or crying out loud, if the old timers had a TIG welder, they would use it. I firmly believe in that. If they had, the air compressors and the other things, they would use them. If they had angle grind, they would use it. The issue I think we get into is that when you become dependent upon the automated portion of things, and you become dependent upon the machine doing the work for you, I think it is real easy. It's not going to say it's happened, but it can become real easy to let the artistry disappear. That the artistry disappears in the machine. Now, I'm telling you right now, I've seen guys do work on treadle hammers and power hammers that is pure art. I'm not saying you can't do it, but I've also seen guys who think they are great skill at the hammer and the anvil, and it's not pure art. So, I mean, I'm one of those guys. I piddle at this. This is not something that I'm a pro at, for sure. Kenny says, heck yeah, TIG is awesome. I've got a TIG torch and pedal over there. I haven't even hooked up yet. I have to learn how to do that. Wallace Gussler says this, loosely added. Okay. A few minutes at the forge saves hours of filing. Nothing against power tools, but clean forging makes life easier. I agree. No forging tonight, buddy. And thank you for the welcome back. Uh, I I agree to a certain extent. Nothing against the power tools. You know, I look at a guy, and I'll say this over and over and over again. I look at a guy like Andrew Larson, and some of the guys that work with him, and they have. It always amazes me. We talked about this the other day at Georgetown. They're doing demonstration on how to make I don't know, a fuller, a top fuller. And they're like, okay, now we're going to make 4 hits on this side, 4 hits on the other side. Then we'll go back and blah, 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 on and on and on. And they'll start talking about, we're going to do 5 hits here, 5 hits there. Then we'll turn it, we'll do 3 hits here, 3 hits there. And they do those 5 hits and 3 hits. And at the end of it, this thing is clean, you know, forged to finish. If there is anything that I am mostly and incredibly impressed by, it is that type of work, that forged to finish work that is as clean as the guys who run it through the grinders, who have the $8,000 2x72s with the VFDs and all the gizmos, and then you pick up a hammer like that, and the only grinder that touched was the head or was the face and the peen, and that's the only place the grinder has touched it, and you go, dang. Now that's craftsmanship. Now, the guy that makes it all through the power hammer and the press, is that not craftsmanship? I disagree. I think that's craftsmanship too. But I'm more impressed with that, with a forged to finish as clean as that. That's my take on it. Power tools in a shop. Well, power tools in a shop can mean a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, electric powered, air powered, hydraulic powered, treadle powered.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that treadle hammer over there is a power tool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's foot powered, but it's a power tool, as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean, that's my take on that. Eli, you can throw in on the whole idea of the artistry, or whatever your comments or thoughts are on that.
Oh, you pretty much said what I was going to say. Not much else to add to it.
Okay.
It's the downside of us being basically the same person.
Yes, that's pretty much what this comes down to. I know I've kind of rambled on a little bit. Bill, since I have an RV lock for sale, look them up. RV lock. I will look that up if I remember. If you need, I hope I remember. Start with fusion welding. You get started feeding wire. Main thing is to be able to see the puddle. That's what I've heard. Cheaters in the welding helmet. Welding helmet helps. Understood. Keith says, my power hammer is a short-handled 8-pounder. Right over here. That's my power hammer right back there most times. Coach, you see you later. You're heading out. Got to run grandkids. See you. Got to run grandkids. Wait a minute. Punctuation. Punctuation is important. Yep. I mean, that makes perfect sense, Frank, is that when you've been out a while and then you get back in, it's tough to just jump right back on and make those perfect pieces if your muscle memory's not there and things like that. Bill says, having a quad state. I created mine. Didn't need to. Okay. We will talk. We will talk. Any other topics along that line or something different? So anyway, that's the intent for us moving forward is getting the shop in order, start work on the fab shop and the wood shop, get that taken care of so we can kind of really maintain what is in here. We're hoping to add the bathroom in this fall and winter, so that will make a big change here as well. One of my favorites, Keith. One of my favorites, absolutely. Yep. Forge Fitness. Forge Fitness. There you go. Eli, you got anything?
Not much.
You just kind of laid back and chill back over there, buddy.
I am.
So anyway, looking forward to more stuff here. I can tell right now it has already cooled down significantly outside.
I'm not soaking through my shirt.
Yeah. Like I said, it is rarely hot in here.
Yeah.
After this has been shut off all day, it's hot. It was hot. So I was not looking forward to cranking up a 2,600 degree fire.
No.
Standing over the top of it.
Not at all.
There again, if that's your job, you do it.
You get acclimated to it.
Yeah.
If this was our daily job, then absolutely. But
Yeah, we'd be in the forge. Busy summer is winding down. I hope to get out in the shop this weekend. I hope you do too, buddy. And we hope for everybody. You know, you get an opportunity to get out in your shop. Be safe. Wear your safety glasses. Anyway.
Square off your own round.
Yes. Hopefully it is under 100 degrees. Still 103 near Dallas. Never ending oven.
Thank you.
Yeah. No. I had a friend that lived in the Dallas area one time. He called me during, I think it was like February or something like that. It's like 67 degrees here. I said, that's cute.
Yeah.
But I'll talk to you in August.
Right.
July and August. Then we'll see if you're really excited about being in Dallas. So, anyway, hey guys, we do it right up there. Dad knee, sitting down, dad knee.
Don't hurt yourself.
We are so thankful that you guys come in here. You know, even though we weren't forging tonight, it's great to sit down, have these conversations and chats. You know, we had somebody comment a couple weeks ago or so that you guys haven't put out any content in a couple months, and it's true. We're making every intention of fixing that very soon. I'm getting my health back in order. We did do. There's Rob Huff. We get Eli's house. Got some content coming out on it soon. Its wiring is near complete on it, so we'll get quick going on plumbing. Plumbing shouldn't take long, both supply and drain, and then we can start filling in those walls with insulation and covering the walls, and then get him in his house. So definitely looking forward to getting him finished up there. And anything else? Just want to encourage you guys, be safe. You know, do something, make something, but do it safely as best you can. And but we look forward to hanging out with you guys every time. It is such a blessing to us. You know, there's a couple times over this past summer where we've not had a stream at all, and it's been very difficult. We'll just tell you that up front. It's difficult when we say, hey, we just can't tonight. We're just not able to do it tonight. And that's tough for us because we like being here with you guys, and hopefully you like being here as well. We're in that 4,000 some odd, 4,100 some.
4114.
4114 on the subs. You know, hopefully we can hit that 5,000 mark. That's a big milestone. We'll have some giveaways. That might be a big giveaway to hit the 5,000 mark.
Yep.
And we'll be letting you guys in on that. And that's right. Don't forget to wear your safety glasses. Stay safe. So anyway, Eli.
Yes, sir.
Shoot him with the stuff, man, and then we'll do a bye-bye. Shoot him.
With the stuff. All right. I'm going to find where I put it. There it is. Guys, as always, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell so you're alerted every single time we have new content coming out. Be sure to check us out on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Rumble, and, of course, website, www.barrunforge.com. It's BARRUNFORGE.com. Other than that, you know where to find us, YouTube. You ever want to talk to us, you got our info. Hit us up. Love to hang out. Gathering in April. see y'all in Quad State in like a month or less than a month, a couple weeks.
And you don't have to wait till Quad State or the Gathering to come see us.
That's true.
You
We've
can
had
come see us
guests on. We've had people come hang out. Our address is on the website, on the YouTubes. You can come find us. Just give us a heads up. Supper's usually at 6:30. And with that, got any other imparting words of wisdom to kick them out with?
That's it.
All right. See ya.
God bless y'all. Bye-bye.